go become an esthetician and wax things. And so I did, and then just started gathering employees along the way. Now I lead a team of 20 women, and just figuring it out every day.
Thanks. This next question is really about why you chose the path to small business ownership. What was the motivation to become an entrepreneur? We'll start with Annie.
I didn't choose the life chose me. When I got done with school, my aesthetic school, no one was hiring for the kind of job that I was looking for, so I just went straight into being self-employed, which is funny because I didn't plan on it during school and don't recommend it, but I did that. And then said I'd never own my own business, and then 3 years later opened my own business and said I'd never have an employee, and a year later got my first employee and said I'd never, and then never, and then I just never say I never, because now I own a building in Chehalis and a second location, and so I was the reluctant business owner along the way, but now I'm extremely comfortable with the position of leading the team.
So I always had a passion for being my own, owning my own business since I was young. So once I retired from the military, I decided to start my journey. Yeah, so I always had, like I said, I always had a passion for food service, and once I retired, decided to start my journey in food service and to start my own business. It was a dream that I had and that the vision that God's given me. So I just went ahead and took that leap of faith to start my business last year. 2022.
For me, it was a little of a, I would say, challenge to choose this pathway, because as a physical therapist, you're trained to work with your patient, and that's what you do. You're not trained essentially to run a business. But what actually turned me into thinking about having my own practice was the philosophy that I had of how to treat the patients. I wanted to offer them the one-on-one care for a full hour, and unfortunately that was not what I saw in the general, let's say, healthcare system. So for this reason, I said, okay, everybody's doing the same thing. The only way to do something different will be me starting my own business, my own clinic. I also thought about this will give me more flexibility in time and potentially more reimbursement, because I thought also. But essentially, what the trigger for me to get into this pathway was identifying that I had a philosophy. There is a way I want to do things, and it wasn't being done that way, and I wanted to accomplish that.
Thanks. So most successful businesses have identified a problem or a gap in service, and then they have found a way to solve that problem with their products or services. What was the problem or gap in the service that you identified that made your business successful? Daniel?
So that actually goes along with what I mentioned recently. When I was working for a corporation, right? So many of you probably will be hired for a corporation or not. But as I was working with them, treating the patients, I realized there was a lot more that I can do for them. But every corporation have their mindset, let's say, and they're focused on reimbursement as everybody else is. But I have an issue when that aspect of business compromise the improvement of my patients. And what I saw is, if I only have more time with this person, I can definitely get them better, faster, and I can actually make their money work, because they're paying for insurance. You guys are all paying for insurance. So I was thinking, why would this person be paying so much and then get 20 minutes with me, and then I'll put him with a technician or this or that? Anyways, so that's what I identify. I can offer, other businesses are not doing the same thing, so I can grasp from this as an opportunity to open my own clinic and advertise myself in this way.
So for me, I wanted to offer diversity in CLE, something different. Also to bring the community together as a whole, also to offer job opportunities for younger folks in my establishment. So basically it's about diversity, bringing everybody together as a whole.
I mean, I deal with waxing things and facials, so I wouldn't call that a problem. But I think really the thing that I tackled with my business and the way that we operate it is I tackled the problem and the uniqueness of our business is that we provide consistency to our clients. So our training program is robust, and I have eight estheticians, for instance, in Olympia, and they all do the same facial. They all have a little different flavor, but they can do that consistent service. And so that gives our clientele a consistent product, which is fairly unique in our area to have that many people doing the same thing in the same way. And then for my employees, I provide a consistent, stable employment, which isn't always the case in the salon and spa industry, where they're well taken care of, matching 401k, option for health insurance, PTO, education, all that stuff that isn't always included. So the uniqueness was the quality of the service and the quality of the environment for the people that are providing the service.
Okay. So what does the day in the life of an entrepreneur look like? What do you spend most of your day doing, your work day doing?
Talking. I talk to people. I really had to, after I left the treatment room about 1.5 years ago, I've really come to grips with 75% of my job is to bring the vibes and to talk to people. So I talk to the employees, I talk to the clients, I talk to mentors, I talk to my accountant, I connect everything. The term visionary starts to make more sense when you start getting a larger team, and I'm not good at putting stamps on envelopes, but I'm really good at crafting a marketing campaign. So I talk to people.
So for me, it's only myself and one other employee. So I'm there in my business every day, all day. I start at 5 o'clock in the morning, and sometimes I don't get home till 9 o'clock at night. I'm prepping, I'm cooking, I'm doing everything in my business to make it survive. So I'm there every day, all day, just working, talking to everyone, talking to accountants, talking to people that come in trying to sell different products, or want me to do business or collaboration with them, networking. But I'm there every day, all day. So it's pretty hard in the beginning when you first start your business.
Yeah, I think it will depend on the type of business that you start. So for me, it's also a lot of hands-on. I had to be at the clinic. You probably know that it's so difficult to hire people. In the healthcare, we are short in every area. It's the case of the physical therapist also. So I have to be there. I have to be at the clinic. I have to work a lot. As you can probably guess, because of the approach that we have, when people hear that we offer a one-on-one care for the full hour, this is becoming a lot more busy, right? Busier. Because people want to have that type of care. For this reason, I would like to invest more time in the business part, but only part of my day is thinking about how I can increase or improve the reach of my business. We're at full capacity. I do vestibular therapy, which basically means people that have vertigo that are dizzy come to see me. And because of that, we are having a lot of affluence of a lot of patients and a lot of referrals. So at this point, I'm not thinking a lot about a whole bunch of marketing and things like that, more into hiring. How can I hire? So I would say between the two, working on the patients and thinking about how to hire another employees is where I spend most of my day.
So we all know entrepreneurs are super busy, and so it's not a 40-hour work week by any stretch usually for these folks. What keeps you going? What inspires you about your business that keeps you going and gets you up every day and keeps you doing the business?
Yeah, so the thought that I'm doing something right keeps me going. Just to give you just to compare a little bit what was before and now. Every time I will go home, my wife sometimes will pick me up from work, and I will be so stressed out. to the point of almost crying, because it was just so many patients, and the load. I'm a person that really wants to help people. I don't want just numbers. Okay, so for that reason, when I wasn't able to accomplish my goal, I was very stressed out. Now that I'm offering this 1 hour of care for each patient, I feel more accomplished. So I feel more relaxed. I like the fact that I'm building something even for the community. And this, we actually were voted favorite business in Nextdoor. I don't know if you know that app. Well, there's an app that is called Nextdoor. That was a surprise to us because we didn't even try that. But it seems like there's a word running to the community. And that is what actually I was trying to build, that relationship between us as a business and the community.
So what motivates me are the customer reviews, especially the positive ones. When they come back and they tell me how good my food is, or they show me so much love and support. So that's what motivates me. Also, we won the best of the best Southside chicken wing category as well, takeout. So that also motivates me as well to keep moving, keep pushing. So the customers.
It's always hard. Personally and professionally. Professionally, I'm motivated when my employees buy their homes and they buy their cars and they go on vacation and they're proud of their achievements. That makes my heart swell for sure. Personally, I have 2 kids. I'm a single mom, and there's no safety net to rely on, so the only option is excellence, and that keeps me going. It puts a chip on my shoulder and a fire in my pants to make sure that my kids continue to be proud of me and have the life that I want them to have.
Thank you. Okay, so this is the hard question. What keeps you up at night about your business?
I guess everybody can guess what gives me up. Now being able to hire. Believe it or not, we're really booked and we're busy every day. Even to come here, I have to cancel some appointments, a lot of appointments actually. So our business is flourishing, is growing, and for some reason we are having this issue on attracting new employees, new therapists, even physical therapists or physical therapist assistant. I think if you guys ever choose this business pathway to help other business, I mean, you can hear, you'll have a lot of business with a healthcare provider that owns its own clinics, because we do need help in reaching that population. What else I need to do besides just advertising in Indeed, so people can actually come to work for us. I think if they even click on our advertisement and they see that we do one-on-one approach, they will want to come. Because as one that used to work for a corporation, I know what it is out there. So our approach actually makes any employee more comfortable, trying to do their best for every patient that they see.
So for me, staffing issue as well. Finding the right people to do the job. A lot of people want to claim they want to work, but they actually don't want to work. They want to come in and not just do anything and get paid. Not at kind of wins. So finding the right quality people to actually do the job is my issue that I have.
I'd say making sure that my team stays happy and motivated and full and busy and successful. And then that requires the marketing and making sure the clients keep coming in and finding us relevant and cutting edge and the best of the best. So it's a constant balance between making sure more girls are busy enough and that we have enough clients to fill the holes. And that keeps, and like taxes and like hiring and like I don't know, the pandemic and the election and like everything else, like melatonin has a big name in my house.
Okay, sort of playing off that, what is one thing about running your business that you did not expect that brings you happiness?
Sometimes even with the negative reviews, that it kind of brings me happiness because it motivates me even more to go even extra harder So turning that negative into a positive kind of like makes me want to do it even more, motivate me even more.
In my case, I would say the amount of support that I have found since opening the business is it what brings a lot of happiness. I work a lot with him, Sean, with Center of Businesses for Innovation. As a physical therapist, I'm trained to do physical therapy. So I do not know a lot about business, and finding people that can help you and support you in your journey, and they actually give you the right cues to have success. They trace for you a pathway. They advise you to take some courses. So I've seen a lot of selfishness, right? Not selfishness, right? Not being selfish. What I'm trying to say, in the way that they support us. They just doing the job. They see our success, and that's what made them happy. So to me, that's very relevant to see that there is people out there that will try to make the best for you to succeed. So you're not alone.
Yeah, I think in the last couple of years, having to level up to have multi-location and just be stable and at the size we are and make all the SOPs, all that stuff. I invested heavily into professional development, but that helped my personal development. So a really unexpected bonus is that I got a little bit more vulnerable, a little deeper, and then that only continues to increase the growth of my company. But the offset is that I also benefit personally.
And so, on the opposite side of that, what is the one thing that you did not expect that does not make you happy about your business?
I think the unfortunate reality is that as you get a little bit bigger, you become a bigger target. So it just, you have to have a thick skin. So like if somebody's not happy, their voice is louder, even though it's not. 1 in 100 still, it keeps you up at night. And it just feels a little bit more vulnerable because the platform is bigger. And I'm responsible for everyone's mortgages who works for me. I'm responsible for their pay. And that's a heavy burden that I don't take lightly.
In my case, when you start your own business, you think, okay, I'm going to be so flexible with my time, I can take so much time off and all that. Well, the reality is not that. You work a lot. You start working a lot, and then, even your employees work less than you, and then you think, okay, what's going on? But, keep always in the background what makes you happy, why you started this. But I will say, that is the part of the extra work that we had to put on our own business is the only thing I can think of being a little bit more stressful. But even I would say, when you just start a journey that you believe into, I think that'll still keep you going.
Well, coming from a military background, I do have thick skin, I thought I did. But when I first started, you get these negative reviews. Everyone's not gonna like your business. That's just anything with any type of business. It hit very hard because this is something that we birthed. This is like our baby. This is our bread and water. This is how we survive. So when people say negative things about your business and all the hard work you put into it, it hit hard in the beginning for me. But now it doesn't bother me anymore. Like I said, I'm more motivated now when I do get those negative reviews as well as positive ones. But in the beginning, it hit kind of hard because this is something that you worked really hard for. This is something that you dreamed for. This is something that you manifested. So when people have negative comments, not only about your business, and try to take your character, it does hit like differently. So that's what my least favorite about being in business.
Okay. What marketing tools have you found to be the most useful to reach your target market or your target audience? What marketing tools do you use on a daily basis?
So for us, as a healthcare provider, we really need to reach the providers, in this case the doctors, attorneys, and anyone that is in the healthcare system that can refer the patient to us, so we had to visit them. Now, because of the approach that we have and the type of marketing that we're trying to implement more is to get to each individual patient. So we use a lot of website and word of mouth, and believe it or not, this is working really well. When anybody that goes into our website and see what we're doing and the way we're doing, especially people that have done physical therapy before, when they see that we dedicate a full hour one-on-one with them, they will reach out through their website. Typically, the one that will have a say to send you to any physical therapy clinic will be the doctor. But I want to take that image and change it. I want every patient to be able to decide where they want to go and to choose the best for them. So we're using those tools to reach the patients themselves. Yeah.
So when we first started, it was more word of mouth because we started in our home. So it's like more word of mouth than anything. And we use social media outlets as well as Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Now we're doing more into direct marketing where we're emailing our customers and became with a loyalty program. So that basically helped us a lot when it comes to advertisement.
Word of mouth is definitely the strongest referrer for us. That works really well. Our Instagram is our vibes, so you'll see me dancing on there quite a lot. But that's where people go for the feeling of what we do, and then we try to keep our website as current and robust as possible because we need them to see the luxury element of what we do. And we use a lot of behind-the-scenes marketing tools to organize all of that. I've got 2 virtual assistants who work in the Philippines that do a lot of our marketing and planning and everything there. And then we use Monday.com and we use Trello and we use a lot of different things to help make it all happen, make the sausage.
So what piece of advice would you give to these students in the audience about the entrepreneurship pathway?
So when I was in your place, when I was in high school, I heard a story that kind of, I didn't know how much was going to impact me, but it did impact me a lot because it kept going until today. And the story was about this business owner that had a shoe factory, and they wanted to spread their business and make more revenue. So he had 2 employees that worked for him to help the business grow. So they send employee A, to call it that way, to this particular place and say, can you go and scout this place and see if there's business for us there? So they went, came back, and this was the report. The business owner asked, what do you think? And they said, there's no business for us there. And then they asked, why? Well, nobody wears shoes. Okay. So employee B also went to the same place, came back, and the same question, what do you think? Well, I think there's a lot of business for us there. And then he asked, why? Nobody wears shoes. So it really depends on how you see your opportunity. If you are able to identify, a lack of service, a lack of product, that would be, I think, an incentive for you to start your entrepreneur. And I think there's a lot of opportunities coming from a different country. Paraguay is less developed, let's put it that way. And coming here, I can only see opportunities in every area. So my advice will be learn how to find those opportunities. Potentially might be before your nose. You might think, okay, this business is saturated, but when you start thinking about it, you will realize, okay, there's more to this than what is being done. That's what I thought. When I first came and started working in the physical therapy clinic, I said, okay, this is probably how everybody is doing it. And then I realized, it doesn't need to be done this way. So think about, we use a lot of the terminology, think outside the box, but it's true, Sometimes we're put in the box, and we are just there and think, okay, this is a unique way to do this. There might be so many more ways to do the same thing. So learn to find that and pursue your goals. There's always going to be fear, especially when you're taking the first step. But the other thing I need to tell you is, especially here in Washington, we have a lot of support. Find these guys; they're going to help you for free, and they will guide you each step that you're taking. They will guide you through the whole process and be happy with your success as well.
If God had given you a vision and you dream about it and give you a vision, take that leap of faith. Don't have doubt. Just keep pushing forward. It's something that you really, really want to do. If you're really passionate about it, just take that leap of faith. Also, surround yourself with like-minded people. Start looking for networking groups, resources like you just mentioned. Just take that leap of faith. That's all I gotta say. Just take a leap of faith.
I really want to hold that on its own and respect it 100%. And then I'm going to say, think really hard before you enter into this world, because it's a lifetime sentence to be an entrepreneur, and it's not easy. And most people don't want to do hard work. They don't want to do the hard stuff. And if you don't want to, that's fine. Don't do it, because it's hard. And some days you're going to lie on the floor and lock the door to your office and hope no one knocks on it, because you just don't want to do it anymore. And that's reality. And it's not #girlboss. It's not like always fun, but it's the best job in the world. So just think really hard about your why before you get into it. And then once you commit, then commit and do the hard work. And if you're doing the hard work and you have the drive, what they're saying is absolutely correct. The world will conspire to support you. And there's people, so ask for help. I'm not the best bookkeeper in the world. I hire one. I don't clean my house the best. I hire one. And I don't pretend that I know how to splice a video together. I just do the dance and they make it look good. So ask for help. It's a who, not how situation and a who, not how world. And there's lots of people to help you.
All right, thank you. Let's open it up for questions. What questions do we have for our entrepreneurial panel here? In the back there in the green shirt.
This is sort of like for me, if you weren't sure if your younger self, if you weren't sure you wanted maybe before going into this, sure to study, what advice would you give yourself later in life? To think of later in life, what would you give yourself advice?
So if their older selves were talking to their younger selves, what advice would they give them in relation to the pathway that they would take?
Especially if you didn't know if you wanted to go to college.
Yeah, especially if you didn't know if you wanted to go to college. Anybody?
Make connections. Like it is, I can't beat this drum enough. It's who, not how. And some of the same people that I worked for when I was 20 and 18, because I grew up here, support me now in my business. And if I have a question, I can go to someone who owns a $100 million company and ask them, like, I've got them, and they'll answer because they want to support you. So make connections from an early age, and don't. What they were saying about social media is real. Your brand is your brand, and what you put out there is seen by the same people that you're going to ask for help for or jobs for later. So be you, but maybe not all of you.
I think, in my opinion, this will be my advice to myself, to the younger self. Build more experiences. So with that, I would say do things like work in a side job, help people in the community, expose yourself to different situations. Because the more you do it, believe it or not, you are developing your personality, your view, your approach, and the way you're going to contact people. I even work at a daycare. When I first came here, because I didn't have my license working at that point. But even that experience built something in the way I see people. So I would say the more you build experiences at this point, the more you expose yourself to different kind of jobs, community services, or organizations, the more you're going to be clear of what is your pathway, what is it that you want to do for your community and for yourself. Because at one point it's going to be, what is it that makes me happy? And trying so many different things, I think it's going to be a great help to identify what actually makes you happy.
Well, for me, it was pretty easy because I joined the military at 19 years old. So being able to travel and be around different type of cultural experiences really helped me determine how I want to go about doing my business and learning how to be on point, on time, all that stuff that the military instilled in us. Discipline really helped me establish my business. So I think the military really helped me at an early age. So I think I picked up the right path with joining the military.
Yeah, question.
So my name is Helena and I'm happy to be here and thank you for this opportunity to get some knowledge about business. And I have a question for you. So you put your maximum to build your business and you made everything to make best version of your business. But what are some ways to develop your startup after errors and keep it on the top? I mean, is it harder to start or keep it and develop your business?
So the question is it harder to start or is it harder to continue to develop and expand? Is that the question? Well, that's the fun part. I mean, pivot is everybody's middle name after going through 2020, but like, it takes the creative stuff that comes from the having to continually reinvent to keep a top of mind and to keep yourself relevant. That's the fun part for me, like building something relevant. Anyone can start something mediocre, but to make it excellent is like the challenge. So I think that it is harder and more rewarding, and that's where the true joy and passion comes in for sure.
That's a very good question. I think both can be challenging. When I think about my type of business, you know, for you to have a physical therapy clinic, you need to have a space. And when you're going to sign the lease for that rent, you know you're getting into something because you actually owe them that money. As soon as you sign that, you owe them the money regardless. What I'm saying with that is that you see this financial challenge at the beginning, especially when you don't know how long it will take you to get your customers coming to you. So it could be really challenging, but again, your vision has to be strong. You know, you have to really think, okay, what am I trying to accomplish? I was so sure that when people hear we are offering a one-on-one care for a full hour, people will choose to come to our therapy. Why would you go to a place where they give you 20 or 30 minutes with your physical therapist and then 30 minutes with somebody else or just by yourself? Why would you go? When you know that you can go for a full hour, somebody that has a lot of potential, right? Well, I just didn't know how long it was going to take to get to that point. And that's the other part, the market, we call that market penetration, right? So how to penetrate the market, how to get into that is also a challenge. But you know, at that point I will say you need help. Like for example, now we're taking a course that's called Scale Up, with also the Center for Businesses and Innovation. And you know, just seeing the ways that you can actually grow your business, to penetrate the market, to produce a new product or new service, to produce a new target, a new market for you. At that point, I will say you might need some coaching, you might need some help. So in both cases will be challenging. The challenge will be different, I think at the beginning, in my case, the challenge was more financial challenge. So if you are saving right now, and when you're gonna start your business, you have a lot of money, you're doing better than I did. I had nothing when I started. So that, you know, potentially for you, initiating your business will be easy. And then how to penetrate the market will be the part that you need help. You know, I needed help with both. Now we're in a good spot, right? It's just word of mouth, and the physician that I know is in us also send me the referral. But that would be what I think. Financial situation at the beginning, and later on help to guide you in the process of growth. Mm-hmm.
So for me personally, I'm not from Washington. So I was in the military, and I'm from the East Coast. So I'm like, okay, I don't know anyone here. How can I make connections? All my friends, they are retired. They moved back to the East Coast or back south. So connections, like they were saying earlier, I joined a networking group. I started meeting people. I started doing resources. I started reaching out. I had no idea how to start a business at all. I didn't even know how to do a business plan or a cash flow sheet or profit loss statement, none of that stuff. So I hired a business coach that helped me through the whole process. Starting a business can be very, very challenging, especially becoming financial. I ended up getting a grant. Somebody taught me how to do a grant. Ended up getting a grant, so I was blessed with a grant. So that helped me out a lot. So do your research as far as helping. How can you get funding for your business? How can you get started? How do you do a business plan? Reach out to a business coach. Go to networking groups to learn all these things. But it can be challenging in the beginning, especially when you don't know what you're doing. Because I had no idea how to start a business. All I know is I wanted to have my own business, and I just went for it. Now my challenge is finding people to actually work in my establishment, so I can go out and do other things, so I can be able to expand and reach out to more people and connect with other people in order to expand. But I'm so tied up in my business, I can't even barely go out and do any other things. So just finding the right people, hiring the right people is a challenge for me as well, because I don't trust anyone with this money. You're not going to trust anyone with your business. You got to have the right people, the right employees, people that want to actually work, that want to actually do the right thing when you're not there. So that's challenging for me. Yeah, just do a lot of research in the beginning.
More questions?
So each of you guys touched on word of mouth a little bit. Can you break down more mechanically like what that looks like? Who are you starting those conversations with, and how do you keep the chatter going?
How do you initiate word of mouth marketing?
It might be different for everyone, but for me, particularly when you're in the healthcare, you rely a lot on your patients. At that point, I have to say their review matters, especially in my business. So when I see that somebody has a good connection with us, I will definitely ask them, hey, don't forget to review us on Google, right? Because they don't have a good connection with us, why would I do that? So far we're still 5-star review in Google. Hopefully we'll keep it that way. But you know, the way I approach to the patient is, you know, and probably you can apply this to a product or another kind of service. I tell them, you need to let people know how much you are getting this benefit for this type of work, this type of service that you're having. I'm giving you a service one-on-one for the full hour. You are recovering faster than another patient will typically recover time frame wise in another physical therapy clinic. So I think you should tell people. You should make this think about somebody that is having back pain or neck pain, or they're dizzy, they don't know what to do, they think they just need to take magazine for the rest of their life. There are things that we can do. We can help them. So I invest my time in coaching my patients how to advertise us, how to show why we are the best choice for their friends or relatives or things like that. So I would say when you're talking about word of mouth, there is a degree of you coaching your clients and what is it that you are selling, your product, and what is different from other industries or the same industry, right? But And what makes you stand out with the same product as compared to your competitors at this point?
So like I mentioned before, I started out in my home, so I had a lot of friends and networking people that came in to my home and bought for me, and I did tasting parties and stuff like that for my wings. So the customers, I get a lot of people to come in and say, "Oh, such has talked about your wings." A lot of my customers refer me. That's how it is for word of mouth for me. I don't do anything special or anything like that. Reviews as well for my customers. Most important thing with me as far as food service is the customer service. You have to have great customer service. So we are top notch on customer service as well as the quality of our wings. So we try to stand out amongst our competitors. We are very different from our competitors. The way we prepare our wings are very different as well. So word of mouth for me is basically people spreading the word.
We hit it from all kinds of angles. Well, first of all, we're kind of known for, we're really good at doing Brazilian waxes. And when you're trusting your lady bits to a stranger, you want them to be good at that. And so when you have that reputation, you hold it pretty, we keep that reputation. And then you tell your friends, don't go there, go over here. And so once you're good, it breeds like more clients like that. And then now we've really ditched into things like hydrofacials. And once people know that, then they come. So they spread the word for us by us just delivering that consistent top-notch service. And then we hit it another way. I think that I firmly believe that small businesses are the lifeblood of our community. And we, along with most of my small business friend owners, donate heavily to every auction, every school, every thing. We get asked for things, not Safeway. We donate gift baskets. We're the ones showing up to support the nonprofits in our local community. And that doesn't go on deaf ears, and people support that back. And then we hit it a new angle. I've been doing this for almost 20 years, and now we did a little bit of a business-to-business marketing this year and marketed to try and get that notoriety amongst other business owners that we don't know. So we've been marketing to dentist office who need to buy a bunch of gift cards for their team or whomever, and trying to hit from a little different side there. So we want all the word of mouth, and we want it all to be awesome, and we want Spruce to be everybody's favorite place to go.
All right, we have time for one or two more questions. Anybody else got some more questions? Hey.
You're trying to do multiple locations for your small business. I think, Anna, you said you had another location in Chehalis.
I do.
Does it depend on the money, or does it depend on your quality of how well your business is doing, or just depending on how the customer reacts to the service or quality or review on that?
Great question. Because Chehalis is totally different than West Olympia, right? But it's not at the same time. Our people are our people, and they're gonna find us. The people who want your product will find you. And I think we're a little early in the Chehalis market, but it's popping. It's growing. Lewis County's growing hugely, and we're at the forefront of it. We're very happy. So we have to do a little bit more education. We're the only hydrofacial in Lewis County, so we have to explain that a little bit more than because no one's ever heard of it. So it might take them a few tries to before they want to book it. But quality service gets rewarded in every market. So I can't say that I did not do a pro forma or a business plan before I was like, you know what, I should buy that building down there and open another Spruce, which is what I did, which I don't recommend that. But it's working out. The gut instinct is usually backed up by data and numbers.
In my case, as a healthcare provider, we are thinking about growth and having multiple facilities, right? We have a different challenge. If I'm gonna say, what is my main challenge will be how to get more employees. Because at this point we're saturated, meaning we have more patients that we can actually handle, so I had to work overtime. I had to work to at least 2 more therapists in order to think about opening a new location. So I'm at that level at this point. So for us, depend more not on the clientele, because it's growing, but on the ability to have the manpower to implement what we're trying to do. So I would say and depending on the industry that you are targeting, you probably had to research, okay, will I have the manpower if I want to go in this new location? Because of how the healthcare is going, I think if we open another clinic, we're still gonna have more clients because of the approach that I mentioned to you. Anywhere we go is going to be different than the other clinics that are around it. Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not quite there yet. I only hit 2 years in November, so I'm not looking for another location right now. So I'm just focused on building my sales here at my current location. So I won't be able to answer that question for you right now, but not there yet.
All right, got time for one more question. Anybody got one more question? How about?
When you first started, was it a struggle to find your pricing for your services or like products?
For us, it's very standard. So I did a little research on this, not heavy. You probably know when you go to a healthcare provider, your insurance, I mean, the facility will charge something and the insurance will pay something, right? They typically bring it down quite a bit. So there's not much that we can do about it. We just need to make sure that our price is higher than what they're gonna pay, because sometimes they change their payment and they don't tell you. So if your price is lower than what they are actually going to pay you, they will pay you your price. They will not pay you what they're allowed to pay. If you are targeting higher than that, then they will pay you their price. They still not want to pay you your price, but at least the allowance will be the same. The other way is, the other thing is that we also do cash-based physical therapy. So I did some research on other clinics in the state of Washington that have a similar approach that we have, and I base my price on their price and a little bit lower to try to compete. Because of the location where I am, I think that you also have to consider that, I mean, it will be different if you're in Seattle. If your business is in Seattle and your business is in Lacey, what will be your price, right? Because there's more revenue, more income, more high pay in Seattle. So I cannot ask my community people, right, to pay me the same that some people in Seattle pay. So I kind of compared those data and came up with a cash-based option, which is working because we do have cash-based people every so often.
So the way we do our pricing in food service, we basically take in all the cost of goods to include the what's the cost of that menu, plus to include the bag or the boxes that they receive as well, the silverware, napkins, all that is into my cost. And what we do is we just mark up the cost 30%, between 30 to 40%. So that's how I come up with my pricing.
We've never tried to chase price as far as our primary attractor, so we've always tried to do the best, not the bargain. And so I looked at our market and went about the high end, maybe $1 more to price us out in the beginning. Now I think, and that attracts a clientele that wants the level of service and luxury that we over deliver. But now we've gotten a lot more sophisticated and have a lot more profit margin and tracking that we use to do annual price increases. So it's gotten a little bit more sophisticated. At the beginning, it was just kind of vibes.
All right, I just want to say thank you again to these entrepreneurs. Again, they're super busy people, and they've taken the time out today to talk to you folks, and so we really want to say thank you. Let's give them a round of applause.